Hello, and welcome to our podcast, episode 1. I am Kevin, here with my lovely wife, Melissa.
Hi.
We've been married about going on a year and a half now.
Yep.
It'll be 2 years in May of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to do a podcast for all you listeners out there. What this podcast is going to be about is many things that kind of brought us together that we like to discuss, which are music, wrestling, which I got my lovely wife into. She was not much of a wrestling fan.
No, I did not like it.
Movies, comics, TV. Football, definitely some sports talk. Baseball, probably when that comes in.
Yep.
So this is general stuff we're going to talk about. What's in the news going on. Certain things might come up within those topics or outside of those topics that we are going to talk about. And we're going to talk about just being married and
all the fun stuff that goes along with
it. And the arguments you have with each other over silly things. You might as well record it.
Yep.
And have it out there for the public to also get in on your life.
Yeah. So welcome.
Yes, welcome. So I guess we'll start with how we grew up and kind of how it shaped us, because we're kind of two different people from different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. I was the North Jerseyan, 30 minutes from New York City. Grew up thinking New York City is the greatest city in the world. That led to a lot of my sports likes. All my sports likes are centered around the New York-based area. Led to some of my music likes. I mean, things like I always kind of felt a kinship of supporting bands like Kiss or
terrible.
Some of those other New York bands that started there. It also kind of, I think, developed my obviously clearly different accents.
Yes.
You might hear different accents in the two of us. Melissa being from South Jersey.
The better Jersey.
So Melissa described where you kind of grew up.
Well, I'm from South Jersey, near Philadelphia. So we know what hoagies are and cheesesteaks, because those don't exist in North Jersey. I haven't found a good one yet. You can deny that, but
they exist. You're just a bit snooty, that's all.
True. And Eagles fan, Phillies fan. I'm not much of a hockey person, but obviously I'd be rooting for the Flyers, and I don't really care about basketball. But again, I guess it would be the Sixers, but they hadn't been good in years. Music that I like, which again I guess is more like Philadelphia. There's a lot more rock stations in Philadelphia. New York doesn't have any, really. It's all just the classic rock station, and that's pretty much it. The Philly's got some really great music down there, and so I'm more of a rock metal person. I think that's more the scene down there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for all you music listeners, rock listeners out there, in the early 90s to mid-90s there, we had a great station called K-Rock, which at the time, I mean, this is a long time ago, so grunge music was still current, but they played a lot of really good grunge music and a lot of really good 80s music in terms of rock and metal. That station kind of went away. It turned into some kind of pop station. I think eventually it was like a talk station for a while, but it doesn't matter. And then we were kind of left with Q104.3, which if you feel like hearing the same kind of 10 Led Zeppelin and Billy Joel and Pink Floyd songs over and over again with some Steve Miller and other kind of softer classic rock, I guess. Crap, if you want to put the label on it, I guess. So, and then it was kind of a void. I mean, then we got DHA recently, 105.5, that's in New Jersey, North Jersey rock station. It's pretty decent. It's close to almost what K-Rock is, but Philadelphia, I've kind of learned of the station WMMR from Melissa.
Best radio station in America.
It is very good. I know Melissa even still streams it at, even though she works in the city now, she streams that station to her computer at work.
That's right.
Because it is a very good station. When I go down and visit her parents, her mother will have that station on, and they play very good stuff. It's a very good mix. So we kind of avoid up here. But they do definitely give a strong rock and metal kind of feel down there. Yeah. Right, Melissa?
Yeah, they do. And we have Wawas. Just want to throw that out there, too.
Wawas are good.
But I did come up to North Jersey and New York just for work. Well, school first.
Yeah, so kind of describe how you kind of got up here to North Jersey. That long trek of yours.
I wanted to work in the music industry. And the only school that wasn't New York and that was affordable that actually had a program was William Patterson. So I went there and I did my studies there, got some internships, and currently working at a independent, I would say a label service, really. It's not really a label, but independent label and music publisher, and they're pretty cool, and yeah, that's what I'm doing.
If anybody recognizes Melissa's wonderful voice through the radio, it's because William Patterson did bring her back a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
To talk about her experiences and moving up in the field. Mm-hmm. So she's a bit of a celebrity here.
Oh, yes. I'm a local celebrity, just like my cousin in Philadelphia.
That's right. That's right. She does have a cousin who's a celebrity,
a local celebrity
down in Philadelphia. Everyone should just know him. You should just know him, know of him, know he exists. So that kind of leads into how Melissa and I kind of met, which I guess is a good story to tell in any podcast that has to deal with two people being married.
Yes.
Listeners out there should know what kind of came of this. So Melissa's up in North Jersey going to school, gets a job in New York, obviously clearly stays up here. Mm-hmm. She brought her brother up with her, Danimal. We're going to call him. Danimal will be a special guest later on.
He approved that name?
Well, it's his name now. So, approval or not, he's going to go by Danimal. That's now his official podcast name. So he came up here with you, kind of looking to do other things.
Yes.
He had a current job that he was able to kind of transition up into North Jersey here. Mm-hmm. So he was able to keep it. He starts moving up in said job. And he's running his store. And he needed somebody to fill in. Mm-hmm. So I was out of college. As everybody in this kind of generation, of our generation, early 30s, late 20s kind of knows. Sometimes getting...
There's no jobs after school.
Right. Getting a decent job is pretty tough after school. So I did some jobs. I worked at a rental car company. Absolutely hated it. Did not like it. Was not something I really wanted to keep going with. Was kind of struggling, working part-time jobs, which is always rough for a kid out of college. There's one part-time job I was always kind of looking forward to, if I could get it at least. It seemed like something that was kind of enjoyable, which was this store that Danimal ran. Mm-hmm. He had a position open. I applied just randomly. I walked in. Fat guy sitting behind the counter.
He's not fat.
Not Danimal.
Oh, that fat guy.
Yeah, that fat guy. Sitting on his fat ass. Because apparently he hurt his back at work. Because he actually, I guess, tried to do something for once.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I walk in, this guy's sitting there.
He got hurt from walking.
Yeah, probably. So I into my application, give him my resume. He goes, okay, I'll give it to my manager when he's in another time. And I said, okay. Didn't anybody seem too interested. I had a feeling he was probably just going to throw it away on me anyway. But I applied to a couple of different places. So I get a call, and it's from Danimal. Wants to bring me in for an interview, so I was pretty excited. Said the only reason he was bringing me in is because I attached a resume to my application.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not seen in that parts much, I guess. He brings me in. Double interview. So I interviewed with two people, Danimal and this other gentleman who worked at the company at the time. Seemed kind of strange for a part-time role. But that's what happened. I came dressed very nice, I'll be honest. I probably came way overdressed.
Did you wear a suit?
Not a suit, no. But I wore a button-down shirt and nice slacks.
Oh, that's not bad.
Again, not seen in that parts, I don't think, very much. Interview went well. Calls me. Says he wants to make me the part-time manager role, which is not what I was going for, but sure, fine. Cool, I'll take it. More pay and more hours and all that. Next step was full-time, so after that, so I'll take it. Started working at this location with Danimal. We got to know each other. We realized we were into a lot of the same things, and Star Wars, and music tastes were pretty similar. Video game tastes were similar, and comic books, all the things, very similar. Almost like long lost brothers discovered.
Oh my god.
So you would know the inside, because I've heard different sides of this. So you would know the exact details. Now I've heard Danimal went to you. I've heard his now lovely wife, Eleno Power, went to you saying, oh, there's this great guy that is into the things that you like.
Yeah,
so what's the true story? Because I've heard both.
It was Eleno Power.
Okay.
She said to me, she's like, oh, there's this guy at Danimal's store, and he likes like all the same music as you do, and he seems really cool, and he wants to set you up with this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't have so much luck before that. But I figured I would give that a shot. Well, the first time I went into the store wasn't really, an official. But I went in there on Halloween. We were supposed to be going to a Halloween party. And he was being a brat and didn't want to get into a costume for whatever reason.
Right, because we were working.
They were working.
That night, yeah.
So I went in and I was dressed as a female Edward Scissorhand, makeup all done, face, hair all over the place.
It was a very cool costume.
It was a really cool costume. I'm very proud of that one. So I go in, and you tell them what you said when I was walking in.
So, at the location I worked at, you got a lot of weird people. A lot of weird people. So it's Halloween, so somebody's going to come dressed up, of course. So this person opens the door. She's a really tiny person, because my lovely wife Melissa is not a very tall person.
Nope.
I didn't know what it was at first, the costume. I guess I could have kind of guessed it. And I turn to Danimal and I go, oh my god, look at this weirdo we have here. And I was not working at the location very long, and probably didn't know him well enough to be calling his sister a weirdo. But I didn't know this was his sister. I don't even know if at that point if I even knew he had a sister. He probably didn't mention it.
Didn't know.
He might have mentioned it here or there. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Probably not. So he goes, oh, that's my sister. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's funny, Dan. He goes, no, really, that's my sister. And I felt like an ass. So then what happens after that, Melissa?
So yeah, so they're pushing me to talk to this guy, Kevin. And I was like, all right. So we went in one day. You guys were doing some sort of like release thing. So we went in and I'm like, I dressed all cute because I was like, I'm gonna get this guy to like notice me. But of course they're busy, and he wasn't really paying attention to me, and I got angry. That was one of the times I got angry. So there was that moment. Then there was another time. I think my brother invited you out, and we all met up at a bar.
Right, yeah. Danimal and
Elena
previous fat guy.
Yeah.
Invited me out. They said that they thought I was cool. And I started this job in about late September, so this was right around Christmas time. So it took about a couple months for them to realize how cool I was. I don't know why it took so long. I should have known probably in the first 2 days. They invite me out. They say, hey, you seem like a cool guy. You want to hang out? I was like, sure, why not? I like going to the occasional bar, throwing down the occasional brewski.
Oh, my goodness.
So we go out, and I already knew Melissa by this time. She had already stopped in the store a couple times, and we talked casually.
Yep, trying to get him to notice me.
Trying to get me to notice her. So we're sitting at the bar, and I'm there with pretty much everybody. Danimal, at the time, his girlfriend, now his wife, Elena Power. Fat guy.
A few other crazy.
Other jerk guy that we don't want to talk about.
Nope.
So we're sitting there. Melissa's fashionably late. So the door opens to the bar. I kind of turn around for whatever reason. I guess just to see who was coming in. And here's this cute girl, who I knew as Dan's sister, makes an absolute beeline to me. I mean, an absolute beeline to my stool. Doesn't even look any left or right. It's like straight ahead, like a homing missile into my location. And I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into?
That's right.
So what was give me your listeners your thought process in that situation?
Oh, because they were saying I should talk to you, and I think that you guys would work out. So all right, let me go talk to this guy. I'm not gonna deal with anybody else there. I'm not interested. So we did. I went over and I talked to you. I think we talked about music and things like that.
We did. We actually talked. This is funny. I still remember this.
Yeah, this is good that he remembers.
The